beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the sunlight of his knowledge.
Full satellite surveillance control requested. Modification currently being processed. Please wait. Access granted.
Target acquired.
Can you keep my secret?
A global truth movement, unsurpassed, has evolved. Victims, activists, whistleblowers, scientists, and those who worked on developmental projects for the program have joined forces all over the world. The list includes retired federal law enforcement to retired military personnel and honorable patriotic rebels of the psychiatric and psychologist fields.
What is happening today is a very serious issue that must be brought to light. The hope for untold numbers of victims is full disclosure, at the very least, of highly advanced technology in use by high-level agencies in operations combined with horrific covert community stalking and relentless technological harassment.
Stay strong, victims. This unified global effort is snowballing and gaining force. Again, don't bend and do not break. The time for full disclosure has arrived and is inevitable. Don't give up.
The very thought of the capability to control another person's mind, or that of groups or large populations technologically from a distance in highly advanced operation centers, brings forth images of horror of which science fiction movies are made of.
One, we know you can modify specific frequencies at a distance, very intense at 2,000 feet.
The brain itself has no firewall to prevent infiltration or frequency manipulation.
Target acquired.
Highly advanced and perfected technology, a biocoded weapon system, has taken center stage.
History reveals a coordinated script in place with the goal to turn the human race into non-thinking automatons. For as long as man has pursued power over the masses, social and population control efforts have been orchestrated to study human behavior and to bend humanity to the will of a small elite group. Josh McKenzie's story of covert, high-tech suffering is that of victims nationwide and globally. Has a global agenda been manifested? Well, some would argue yes, and that humanity has been intentionally kept in the dark through disinformation and propaganda, which has contributed to the lack of awareness of a powerful, highly perfected modernized system designed for total global control, or the ancient connection to an elite group's doctrine, unleashed with goals historically consistent, irrefutable, and the hope for the New World Order.
Mind control, brainwashing, the efforts of a small few to control the masses is nothing new and can be traced back and beginnings of civilization.
We know what these frequencies are. We know the behavior, modification that can be brought about.
mind control, brainwashing, mind reading, hypnosis, beamed voices of operators directly into the human brain.
The purpose, open literature evidence reveals, is a paradigm for globalization, decades in the making. Backed by advanced technology.
Perhaps you know someone who led a normal, successful, happy life. You then watched, suddenly, the slow, surreal destruction of their life almost overnight, and it was completely unexplainable. The technology used is unseen to the human eye or detectable.
50 years ago, I, with many Americans, sat glued to our television sets as the church committee hearings played out on national television in 1973. Apparently, testing continued and did not stop, but went underground and continued to flourish.
In 1953, the U.S. government purchased the world's supply of LSD. This single purchase laid the foundation for a 20-year mind control study to exploit German scientists for American research and to deny these intellectual resources to the Soviet Union. Architect Sidney Gottlieb described in a July 13, 1953 memo how the drug could be used. Disturbance of memory, discrediting by deviant behavior, alteration of sex patterns, eliciting of information, suggestibility, and creation of dependence.
The rise in prescription drug abuse has been linked to an increase in the use of heroin here in the U.S. The problem transcends America's urban centers and has hit affluent suburbs.
Initial testing took place across the USA and in Canada at the Allen Memorial Institute. Official records document involvement of at least 80 institutions, which included Health and Human Services, veteran and civilian hospitals, psych wards, prisons, DoD contractors doing private research, near 50 colleges and universities, to include many pharmaceutical companies. Most test subjects then and reported today were experimented on without their knowledge or consent. Orwellian-type thought police listen to subvocal thought by reading brainwave patterns, translated into any language by a supercomputer. Highly advanced technology can hypnotize, manipulate dreams, terrorize victims by covert sexual stimulation. Creating sexual deviance and even program a victim into a suicidal, self-destruct mode known as Omega programming. Beta waves are active when we are wide awake, alpha waves when we are relaxed, theta waves when about to fall asleep, and delta waves when we are in deep sleep and unconscious. Patented technology, the silent sound spread spectrum, is capable of casting subliminal influence over large populations. The result is DoD Regulation 52401.R, Procedure 13, Executive Order 12333, and the Exception Clause of U.S. Code Chapter 32, Title 50, Section 1520A. This includes a historic agreement for mass global surveillance approved under the Five Eyes Agreement.
Initiating satellite scan.
Look at you. Stupid. Point. Look at you. shield.
Citizens can be selected at random for horrible targeting. Using covert psychotronic, advanced electromagnetic technology beamed from state-of-the-art operations centers globally.
There are highly credible victims all over the world. America, all across Europe, New Zealand, Sweden, Canada, Australia, Africa, India, Brazil, Korea, and Japan. So many people from all walks of life are reporting highly technical, psychological, electronic remote neural monitoring programs. And also, coincidentally, that there appears to be an official standard operating procedure. Is there a connection? Well, if this is happening to someone you know or love, understand that mind-invasive technology continues to advance, decades in perfecting in ongoing research, testing, and development.
I got my fair share of strikes. I don't want to lose my YouTube channel, so I will only upload video trailers on YouTube. Check out the links in the description to watch the full video on my other platforms, Odysee, Rumble, and Bitchute.